In April 2021, a woman named Shea Bryan and her husband were at home in North Carolina when their 13-year-old son stepped outside to walk the family dog. Moments after he walked out the door, their Ring camera captured unsettling footage. A silver BMW pulled up in front of their home, and a strange man exited the vehicle and began approaching the teenager. Without even introducing himself, the man immediately asked the boy if he lived in the neighborhood. According to the teenager's mother, she and her husband had repeatedly taught their son about stranger danger. However, in this instance, the boy seemed to freeze in fear. What's especially disturbing about the footage is how quickly the man exited the car and approached him, wasting no time at all. This behavior suggests he may have been lurking in the area, waiting for someone to come outside, or perhaps he was already familiar with the Bryant family's routine and had intentionally targeted the boy. Thankfully, the teenager's father stepped in just in time, preventing anything from happening.
What you got to ask my son?
I was wondering about the airplane noise.
Talking to my son and he ain't got no adult out here. That's kind of creepy.
When the boy's father confronted him, the stranger quickly tried to come up with an excuse, claiming he was curious about the airplane noise in the area. The explanation made little sense. After all, it's highly suspicious to be driving through a random neighborhood, waiting for a 13-year-old to walk outside just to ask a vague question like that. The father clearly didn't believe a word of it. Shea Bryant, the boy's mother, later said she remained uneasy after the encounter, especially since no one ever found out what the man's true intentions were. On July the 15th, 2022, a TikToker uploaded chilling footage capturing an unsettling moment at her home while she was away. In the video, a disturbing voice can be heard at the back door, repeatedly asking to be let inside.
Let me in. Me. In.
The person can be heard repeatedly saying, "Let me in," while scratching and knocking at the back door. The eerie tone of the voice, combined with the fact that no one is visible on screen, sparked a wave of theories among viewers about who or what might have been outside. Throughout the video, a human-like shadow can be seen in the bottom right corner, yet the figure never steps directly in front of the camera. Some viewers speculated that this detail suggests the footage may have been staged, while others believe someone with harmful intentions may have been targeting the home and urged the TikToker to stay vigilant. As of now, the true nature of the footage remains a mystery, and no further updates have been provided by the TikTok user. This dash cam footage was recorded in the early morning hours of May 2nd, 2023, in Browns Plains, Australia. It shows a white car navigating a series of roundabouts before continuing down a straight road. At first, everything appears calm, but just 10 seconds into the video, the driver's dash cam captures something truly disturbing. Disturbingly, a woman suddenly appears crossing the street just as the car passes by, seemingly throwing herself toward the vehicle. Moments later, a man runs toward the scene, frantically gesturing for the driver to stop and check on the woman. Fortunately, the driver kept his composure and sped away, likely saving himself from serious danger. Had the driver been startled or distracted enough to stop and get out, the situation could have taken a much darker turn. Thankfully, the over-the-top performance by both the woman and the man made it clear something wasn't right. Their suspicious behavior strongly suggested a setup, and the driver sensed it. While the true intentions behind the bizarre encounter are unclear, it's terrifying to imagine what could motivate someone to hurl themselves into traffic. According to the original video's description, the driver's first thought was that it was an attempted insurance scam, a staged accident with a fake injury designed to squeeze money out of a fraudulent claim. But what made the driver flee the scene wasn't just the possibility of a scam. Later that morning, he filed a report with local police and revealed a chilling detail that hadn't been caught on camera. As the man rushed toward the woman, a group of unidentified individuals emerged from the shadows behind the car and began sprinting toward it. Realizing the trap he was about to walk into, the driver hit the gas and escaped, avoiding what could have been a carjacking and extortion attempt, or something even worse. The Browns Plains police station confirmed an investigation was launched, but the individuals involved were never located. It remains unknown what might have happened had the driver stepped out of his car, or even waited just a few seconds longer. Whatever the plan was, it likely wasn't going to end well. This deeply unsettling incident occurred around 7 a.m. on May 18, 2021 in West Pensacola, Florida. Captured by a nearby parked car's dash cam, the footage shows an 11-year-old girl kneeling on the grass, waiting for her school bus. Just seconds into the video, a white Dodge Journey is seen slowly circling around her. Although the girl notices the vehicle, she doesn't appear to be alarmed, perhaps assuming it was just a local resident passing through. Unfortunately, the man behind the wheel wasn't simply driving around the neighborhood, as she might have thought. Roughly a minute and a half later, the same white SUV pulls over near the roundabout, unaware that his vehicle and its license plate are being clearly recorded on camera. Once again, the young girl glances toward the white car several times, sensing something odd but not yet feeling truly threatened. She remains where she is, unaware of what's about to happen. Then the driver steps out of the vehicle and does the unthinkable. In an act of pure evil, the man suddenly lunges at the girl, attempting to abduct her and drag her back to his car. The brave 11-year-old fights back with all her strength, struggling against his grip. In the scuffle, the man loses his balance and both fall to the ground. Realizing his cover had been blown and likely panicked by the attention the struggle might draw, he scrambles to his feet, races back to his vehicle, and speeds away. It's chilling to imagine what could have happened had the man not stumbled, but thankfully his license plate was clearly recorded, allowing police to quickly identify and track him down. That same evening, officers arrested 30-year-old Jared Paul Stanga. According to the West Pensacola Sheriff's Department, Stanga was armed with a knife at the time of the attempted abduction. Investigators later discovered that the white Dodge Journey he was driving had been freshly painted, likely an attempt to avoid recognition or detection. Even more disturbing, 2 weeks prior to the attack, the young girl had told her school principal that a man in a white car had approached her at the bus stop and spoken to her. Unfortunately, no action was taken at the time to ensure her safety. Following his arrest, Jared Stanga was charged with attempted kidnapping of a child under 13, aggravated assault, and battery. Thankfully, the girl was physically unharmed, though understandably shaken by the traumatic experience she endured that morning. Grizzly Gaz is a YouTube camping channel featuring dozens of videos where Gaz, the creator, embarks on hiking and camping adventures across the UK, often accompanied by his French bulldog, Fendi. Many of his videos showcase him camping in extreme weather conditions and encountering large wild animals deep in the woods. In April 2023, Gaz uploaded a video documenting a camping trip in a remote woodland area of the UK. The trip started off normally, with footage showing Gaz setting up his tent, chopping wood for a fire, and spending time with Fendi as the sun began to set. However, what happened next wasn't captured on camera. As Gaz was preparing a steak dinner over the fire, an unexpected visitor appeared. A random man dressed in jeans and a coat wandered into his campsite and asked for a beer and some food.
Right, we've got steaks on go now. Bit of ribeye, pot boiling for some mash, and I've got a visitor. Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light. Me pants. This is Martin anyway. I don't know him, but he's stopping for a steak,
just some random creep wandering about.
You went round here in a poncho a couple of months ago, were you?
I don't think I was. I could have been.
Although the encounter with the man was relatively uneventful on the surface, there's still something undeniably unsettling about being approached by a stranger while camping alone deep in the woods. If you listen closely to the footage, the man, later identified as Martin, speaks in a somewhat disjointed and rambling manner, as if he's not entirely present or possibly under the influence. Later in the video, Gaz explains that Martin was homeless. As they shared dinner by the fire, Martin opened up about how his life had spiraled out of control due to drug use, eventually leading him to wander alone through the forest that day. What's particularly eerie is what happened next. As Gaz briefly turned away to chop more wood, Martin suddenly vanished, leaving the campsite without a word of thanks or even a goodbye. Disturbed by the encounter, Gaz made the decision to pack up and leave the area that night. He feared that Martin might return, or worse, bring others, after noticing Gaz's expensive filming equipment. To be safe, Gaz set up a trail camera at the site before he left, hoping it would capture anything that might happen after his departure. The next morning, when he returned to check on the camera, he found that it was completely gone. Whether Martin was simply a troubled man looking for company or someone with more sinister intentions remains unclear. But one thing is certain, Gaz was right to trust his instincts and leave when he did.